I want to start with this. We all take risks. You ever driven on the road after 11 p.m. at night? 1 in 4 people. Alcohol in the bloodstream. Impaired. Anybody go serve for the country? 18 years old. You kiss mom goodbye. And they often don't return. Those kids fight over oil and politics, have no business going to Afghanistan or then Vietnam. They're fighting somebody else's war. And their life is over at 18. And economically, they have to join the service sometimes. It's the only way out. It's a better life. They fight another man's war, a politician's, or we fight for oil. This country's been founded on risks. Who builds those bridges you drive over and those roads? Those dams where dozens die. There is risk, too, in sports and adventure in life. Yesterday, Roger Goodell and a couple of New York Jets were at a fan forum. One of the players, Jamal Adams, was asked about CTE. He said, man, if I had a perfect place to die, it'd probably be on a football field. Oh, the media freaked out. You know what the fans did? They cheered. Because they like football players who love football, because they love football. By the way, boxers say this all the time. I die in the ring. Nobody takes it literally. MMA fighters say it all the time. I die in the ring. Nobody takes it literally. But I'd give up 10 years of my life if you told me today I get to keep doing this for the next 20 years. But you have to give up 10 years on the backside and have massive hearing loss. Oh, wait, I already have that. You could have that decade. This job is so much fun that what do I care at 86? My prostate's going to be falling out of my pants anyway.
Oh, nice.
But we talk about risk all the time. What is risk? This is risk. You do realize the study last week was not a random study on players' brains. It was people with symptoms who donated their brains, and if you and I hung out at a bar at midnight for a week, we'd find liver problems too. It was targeted. It was not random. My guess is 9-10% of players eventually over time suffer from CTE, and I am guessing it could be lower. But I found a story this morning, actually several, when I looked up soccer and CTE. Here's a story by CNN. CTE found in several former soccer players, says a study. The New York Times, February 2 years ago, brain trauma extends to the soccer field. 29-year-old kid Patrick Grange passes away. I guess my point is you cannot eliminate risk. You can reduce it. This is why states are raising the driver's license. They want to eliminate? No. They can't eliminate teenage stupidity, driving too fast, reckless driving by teenagers. What they can do is reduce driving risks. I think with football and soccer, I think there's all sorts of dangers in soccer, but we don't talk about it. Much like everybody thought MMA was much more dangerous than boxing when it came out. But you don't see MMA fighters slurring. You seemingly see 90% of old boxers, little slow, little punchy. Because in boxing, it may not be the big knockout of MMA, the shot to the chin and you go down. It's repetitive sparring, repetitive shots over time. God, almost to a person, all the old veteran boxers slur. Don't see that with MMA because 1 or 2 punches, fight's over. It's not as repetitive, not as many rounds. I feel the same way about soccer. You play football from 11 to 33 in this country, and then you retire, and then you don't play again. You play soccer in this country, and they say the average soccer player heads the ball 1,000 times a year. You play it from 11 to 33, same as football. And then you retire, and you join men's leagues and indoor leagues for the next 25 years. Header, 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 header. We don't talk about soccer, and we didn't talk about boxing. We didn't worry much because it wasn't the big knockout punch. We worried about MMA and we worried about football because you can see the violence. But we live a life of it, and we all take risks. And a lot of people drinking when you go out tonight, knowing it's not good for you. Smoking cigars, or worse, marijuana, not good for the brain. You choose that. It is a lifestyle choice. I'm worried about CTE too. I really am. And I think there's a very easy way to reduce the risks. just like driving cars for teenagers, just like military risk, is that I think instead of hitting at 11, you should start at 15. I think the NFL should guarantee more player salaries, therefore players can retire closer to 28 and 29 than 33 and 34. And then the window of football is reduced, where you get a free college scholarship out of it, and you can make millions or lots of money, transformative money, playing it. You start hitting at 15, you're out by 29. And you've taken 4 years off the front end and 4 years off the back. And you have reduced the risk. The key, don't hit until you're 15. And the key, get out of it earlier with guaranteed money. The window shrinks. The risk is reduced. But it is not eliminated. And it's not eliminated with alcohol. And we're going to send kids to war. And people all the time, choose lifestyles, make choices. I'll have a vodka club soda tonight. It is not extending my life. And I would give up my last 10 years to do what I'm doing now. And many of you who love your jobs would do the same. Jamal Adams shouldn't be taken literally when he said, "I'd die on this football field." But for a young player at 19, 20, 21, 22 that's making the NFL, that put in 10 years to 15 of his life to realize a dream, and now somebody's paying him millions to realize that dream, I get it. I completely, absolutely get it.